and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right, welcome in on this Monday edition of the show. Live at DeViney Equipment on Highway 51 in Madison. We call it Gluckstadt, call it Madison. You know where it is. I'm glad to be with you on this Reaction Monday. Not entirely sure what we're reacting to other than me reacting to being back home for a change. I'm Matt Beavers here. You can be a part of the show. Hope you will do that today. You can text me on the Country Pleasing text line. I had some for breakfast. First time in a week. I had some Country Pleasing. Well, I actually had it yesterday too, because we were back on Saturday. Anywho, text me on the Country Pleasing text line. That number, 885-3776. 601 number, 885-3776. Or you could call me on the DeViney phone. Speaking of, the DeViney Equipment phone line is 995-1059. That's a 601 number as well, 995-1059. Get it on in here. Now, here at DeViney, for those who are looking at the live stream, we got a little Colin Cowherd thing going on here where when he first moved his show out west, he was sitting up on a podium and his guest was way down like beneath him.
This is so terrible. Like the worst ever. I mean, you're already taller than I am. It's just bad.
And well, first thing is, I want to make sure that your headphones aren't too loud. Are you okay there?
I'm good.
We're not blowing you out or anything?
I don't think so.
I don't want to damage your hearing. I don't want any collateral damage while I'm here today, Jonathan. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move, and I'm going to get a chair that is equal to yours.
No. I refuse. No. You're like you sit. You love this chair.
I refuse.
No. This is so good.
I refuse to be above you, Jonathan.
I'm not worthy. You're the...
All right.
Whatever.
Whatever. The man says whatever.
Whatever.
If you're watching on the live stream, you can comment there today if you want to be a part of the show. I'm just glad to be back. Glad to be here in Madison. Glad to be in Mississippi.
New York City.
I can't tell you how many people text me the either the GIF or the short video of that, salsa commercial from years ago.
Pico. What was that? Pico. Pace pecani sauce. That's what it was. Pace pecani sauce.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, Jonathan McMillan from DeViney Equipment here on Highway 51 in Madison. Here's the deal. Okay, it is not August yet, but it might as well be, right?
Oh yeah,
tomorrow.
It's here.
It's basically here.
Deer season is here. Football season is here. It's here.
Hallelujah. It's time. Here's the thing: football practice beginning basically for everybody.
That's
this
right.
week in college.
Well, the high school they've been going for a couple of weeks now. I think at least a week or so. Most everybody,
Jonathan.
So yeah, it's here.
Okay, seriously, you were an athlete. You played football at
has been.
Well, no. I'll be honest with you. If we're both has-beens, but you're a much better in shape has-been than I am.
Well, I don't know about that.
You get credit for that. But I'll say this: you played, high school football, played college football at MC. Now, at this point in your life, do you walk outside and go, "How are these kids practicing in this heat?"
It's so terrible. I mean, my kid. I've got a kid that's a junior, so they just started. So he's been coming in, and I told him last week. I was like, "Man, you better make sure you drink water. It's gonna be terrible."
Right.
There's no way.
Speaking of water, notice that I'm drinking water with the Jonathan McMillan for House District 58 logo on the water bottle.
That's
fantastic.
The best water on the face of the earth.
Well, I'm fixing to make sure.
Look at that. It's McMillan water.
I feel like I can jump higher.
Oh man, golly,
that's great. Well, and so football practice, you feel like you get into August and you just feel like, okay, the game's not here yet, but doggone, it's close. And look. This coming weekend, you will, if you want to, you will get to watch real live tackle football. It'll be the NFL Hall of Fame game, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets versus somebody.
Is that Saturday or is that Friday? The whole Hall of Fame all weekend. They're doing
the whole thing's this weekend, and then they have the game, the Hall of Fame game.
That's right.
It's the first NFL preseason game of the year, and it's always the worst football game on TV the whole year.
Well, they hadn't practiced, and then usually they're still trying to get roster spots. Yeah. I mean, the starters may play one series or not even at all.
I mean, what's Aaron Rodgers going to do? Like hand the ball off once and walk to the sideline? And So, you know,
about my senior year in college, whenever I came out with turf toe, I don't think I did 2 days the entire time. Turf toe is a real thing. So
Coach, hey, Coach, why wasn't Jonathan McMillan your starting corner in the scrimmage today? He's got turf toe.
It's a real, like, I made fun of people. Not really made fun of people, but turf toe is rough. It's a serious injury. I mean, I'm serious.
Well, that's the kind of thing, too. Like, some people get it and never get rid of it.
It's awful.
It's kind of like stupidity. Some people get it and never get
it. There ain't no doubt about that. Trust me. No doubt about it.
But not only football season, but you said it, deer season. And here's the deal. Here I am sitting here on a Monday at DeViney Equipment on Highway 51 in Madison. And I'm looking at a sheet here that the very top says DeViney Deer Camp Tractor Package.
I love it.
It's the time of year that we can begin to talk about deer hunting. We can
talk about deer hunting. We can talk about that blame football, fall coming up. Yes, absolutely. Favorite time of year right now. That's it. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Look, so because I'm up here above you.
I mean, you really are.
Look what
that's okay.
Roshan on the live stream says, Matt is such a stand-up guy. Yeah, I'm trying to give you my seat. Ginger thought it was funny. Blind Squirrel, we have a listener over in another state named Blind Squirrel. And he gave us a howdy.
There you go.
What's up? You can tell he's from the South, though, because he says howdy.
He's one of them Alabama guys. I don't know. You got to watch Alabama, folks.
Yeah, and, hey, speaking of this area, we're here in Madison, but the Mississippi State men's basketball team went to their overseas trip. They played a game or two in Portugal, and a freshman named Josh Hubbard went slap off a couple of games. White Denzel texts the show and says, Matt, Josh Hubbard is going to be special. The transfers look really good. 18 3-pointers yesterday. Said I'll take it all day long. But Josh Hubbard, double digits, I think, in both games.
So I watched Josh literally from the time he was in 7th grade and come all the way through. Phenomenal athlete and a phenomenal person, you know, even more than his athletic ability. But I think it was 2 years ago, they played Gulfport, and he was a sophomore, I guess, sophomore. I think that was his sophomore year.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody just take a ball game over.
Yeah.
And whenever I say offensively, defensively, he was on fire. I mean, he was hitting it from 5 feet behind the 3-point line and lighting it up the entire time. Took the whole ball. I've never seen anybody do that before. Yeah. He's definitely a special player. He's going to help Mississippi State. So,
well, he's the kind of player to help any team, but a team that could not throw one in the ocean from 3-point range last year.
That's right.
He's an immediate spark for them.
Well, like I said, and then just a good kid, good family, great family. So can't talk any more good about Josh and all his. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. So
so let's talk. Since we don't have any other good things to say about Josh, we've already said them all. Let's say some good things about the DeViney Deer Camp Tractor packages.
Yeah, man.
All right. So Kubota L2501 DT. I think, did I walk by one of those out here on the lot today?
Yeah, we've got a few out there. Yeah.
So, and for that right there, that big tractor, the cash price is $27,800 right now.
So that's the whole package. So we actually back the guys here that put on the Mississippi Outdoor Ag Expo.
Oh yeah.
Jack and Guy, they're here today.
Yeah, you were a little busy this weekend.
Yeah, we had a little bit going on, but no, we took that package down there. But that's a 2501 DT. We have a loader, cutter, disc spreader, and trailer. So all of that in that package. You're $27,800 for all that. So,
that in one package.
That's right.
So the tractor, the loader, the 5-foot cutter, the 5-foot disc, the spreader, the 20-foot trailer, also in one package. You're getting your payments at about $360.
Around $360 a month. Yeah, that's roughly depending on what you do on your taxes and all that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. You got end of the season mower deals, and here's the thing about it. It's a heck of a deal because it may say end of the season, but we're really not end of the season.
We're still going to cut grass to November.
Right.
Yeah, but manufacturers typically, really here, and that's what I'm saying on the package thing. It's been tough to put packages together. It's been really hard to give any discounts because we hadn't had the inventory. Yeah. So finally, we're able to build up a little inventory. The manufacturers are putting more discounts out there, so we're able to offer some deals and prices because we actually have the stuff on the yard to sell. So but
2,000 off.
Yeah, there's some mowers out there that literally you'll have a $2,000 discount on some of your higher price mowers. But we carry Kubota, Toro, Red Max, Wright, and we can do low payments on all those.
When you say Wright, the standing mowers,
the standards, the ones that you'd be way up there.
Would I look like one of those? Like when I get a regular sized bicycle, and I'm pedaling and my knees are up here, So
yeah. I've got another buddy that runs them. He actually was at Mississippi College when I was there, but he's about your height. Yeah,
but he runs
on the right. Absolutely loves them. Yeah,
sure, that's great. So we're here at the DeViney location on Highway 51 in Madison here at Gluckstadt today. All right, when is the time for? I mean, as far as food plot stuff and getting ready for deer season,
well, that's why we're empty in here right now. We're I've been waiting on the suppliers to get some prices on commodity prices. Of course, they've been fluctuating so much. So between corn and all your seed prices, I'm getting some hard prices there. So we'll fill the showroom up with seed and corn here in the next few weeks.
Few weeks.
That's right. Typically, people will start planting Labor Day end of August, 1st September, but more people are kind of waiting. You got to really watch the weather and see what's going on there. Usually into late September, October. So we'll go from that 1st of September to end of October. With planning.
Gotcha. Yeah. So how was the expo this weekend?
It was really good. It was inside.
Hallelujah.
We had some air conditioners, so that was good. But no, we had a lot of people, talked to a bunch of folks. I mean, I think Coach and Matt, James and Barrett, they've been working some deals this morning, calling some people back. So we had a really good show. Yeah, absolutely. They do a good job putting that show on down there. Yeah, they really do. So.
When people came through, and you talk to people, kind of what was are people interested in deer hunting? Are they looking forward to football season? Is it
a little bit of, like I said, when I first, literally, it is that time. I think everybody's tired of 100-degree weather. They're tired, everybody's ready to kind of get back some norm. Let's get some fall weather, watch some football, get out there get in the woods and plant a little bit. So, but we had lots of folks came by the booth. We had no-till drills out there, which we got a couple out there. People were.
Yeah, I heard you mention drill. You were talking yesterday. You mentioned drills. So what is that?
So it's no-till drill. We rent those. We have a Land Pride, and then we have another brand. It's a 3-point hitch brand that we started carrying a few weeks ago. That's a little bit cheaper than the Land Pride in Great Plains. But basically, what a drill is, you'll instead of traditional going out and spraying and disking and then coming behind it planting, it's kind of an all-in-one type thing. So you really could spray or cut. And you have your seed hopper, so the seed drops in the ground, so it cuts a slit in the dirt, and the seed drops in, and then it covers it. So you're getting more surface ground contact, and you're not having to disc or erode the ground any. Okay. Right. So it's a little cleaner, and it's one pass, so you're getting you're not.
So it does it all in one pass.
Right. You're not tearing up the ground and getting all the moisture out to where you'll have a little bit better germination rate. So a lot more folks are doing it that way because it's more efficient.
More efficient.
So, absolutely.
I guess time efficient.
Absolutely. You're not having to come back and disc and tear your ground up. And really with the main thing is your moisture, because the seed has to have good ground contact, and you have to have moisture content in the soil for it to grow. And as well as I do, October, it may not rain any, So, once you open up that ground, you're letting that moisture up. So you're trying to keep the moisture in the ground so you can actually have a germ right there.
So we flew home from New York on Saturday. Flew into Memphis, drove home to Tupelo, got home, and I noticed we'd obviously been without rain for a good period of time there in Tupelo, a few days, enough so that with the temperatures, the yard started getting just a little bit of brown.
A little tinge of brown.
A little tinge of brown and a little crunchy. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna run the sprinkler. I began that process, running the sprinkler in the backyard where we've got some good grass, on Saturday night. Yep. Guess what it did Sunday morning? Rain. It sure did.
That's it.
I thought, man, is this not perfect? If you want it to rain, wash your car or run your sprinkler, and that's how to do it. But we need it because, I remember, Jonathan, I guess it was that way throughout most of Mississippi. But, last year, summer of 22 is when it got so dry for so long. The ground got hard.
Terrible.
We were in bad need of some rain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess we haven't quite gotten to that point this year, I don't think.
It's been okay. We had a lot of rain, early in the summer, and here the last few weeks, of course, it's been hot. Of course, we get that anyway, and hopefully we'll get a few afternoon showers to keep things going, keep it green. So,
right. Somebody said here to keep Blind Squirrel Sports. He may be our lawn expert as far as we know. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. What's he got?
He says to keep your lawn as healthy as possible. How often should you change the pattern in which you cut your grass?
Ooh,
are you one of those? Are you one of those that you like to mow it in that really nice diagonal?
No, I mow mine just in circles.
circles.
Just 2 big circles. That's it.
People that
Kick
fly
the grass out.
People that fly out of Jackson Airport, they go over Madison. They see 1 yard down.
Big circle.
Like big crop.
Have you seen the YouTube video that the guy's got the string and the push mower and it just goes?
I have seen it.
It's kind of what I do.
Well, it makes me want to try it.
Yeah.
There's two. Okay, that thing, he's got his push mower on a string and it's just slowly spiraling his yard without, hands off. The other one I want to try is the guy on YouTube who got a fishing rod, okay, and it's somehow attached like a toy, baseball, softball or something on the end of it, sat in a chair, and his son's taking BP and he hits it.
You sent me that video.
Yeah, and the guy lets go of the line and it goes down the road, and then he just reels it back in and hit it again.
Like I said, I'm just not that smart. I can't figure that out. Limited, Matt. I'm limited. What do you do?
To your credit, it probably means you're just not lazy.
Yeah.
I look at those and I go, how lazy does somebody have to be to, number one, think of that. Number two, try to do it, go through all the effort to do it just to be lazy.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. Throw BP to your kid and go pick up the baseball. How about that?
I just got to get a lot of baseballs. I mean, problem is mine. They never pick them up. Is anybody else like that? They never pick them up.
Yes.
You buy all these and they just sit in the yard. And then you go to cut it, and you got all these baseballs, and then you don't want to get off the lawnmower, so you end up shooting baseballs out the side of you, which is not good. That's not healthy for your lawnmower at all. That's not good for your spindles or your belts. So we see a lot of that in here.
Here's another thing.
So don't do that.
Regarding the baseballs, generations being different. I don't have a son, so I'm not involved in youth baseball, so I don't know the answer to this. Is it still the way it was when we were kids in that the balls you had that you played with in the neighborhood or that you took with you or that you saved up or in a bucket, they were brown. They were coming apart at the seams, and soft and everything. And then you finally get to roll out there for that first ball game and they got that new pearl, the new ball that comes in. Every kid looked at it like, oh, look at this. It's a brand new ball.
Yeah.
Do kids still do that, or are new clean pearl baseballs more common than they used to be?
No, I mean, I know McMillan kids. I mean, my kid, we play with the ones we use are dirty and nasty, and they probably weigh about 10 pounds because they've been sitting out in the water and rain.
If you look real close, it's
probably going to throw my kid's arm out when he's throwing it.
It's a ball that you signed when you were 12 when you hit a home run.
Very possibly.
Jonathan McMillan, home run.
That one home run I hit that one time back in 3rd grade.
That's it. Yeah.
One time.
I just wondered. Let me look here. Implement discounts.
Yep.
Woods, Bush Hog, Land Pride, 20% off box blades, cutters, tillers, discs, grapples. So this is a time starting beginning of August, so tomorrow or
now? Yeah, we actually had a surplus of implements come in, so we didn't have we were so limited on our inventory for the better part of 2 years, and we finally had a lot of stuff hit all at the same time. So we're loaded down. So we said, look, let's put some good prices on some different things. So we've got up to 20% off. That's Woods, Bush Hog, or Land Pride. We've got box blades, cutters, tillers, discs, grapples. Whatever you guys need on the back of the tractor, we've got.
You mentioned the drill that you rent those.
We do.
We probably don't remind people enough that they may not necessarily need to buy, but they could rent for a job.
Absolutely. DeViney rent. So if you guys, tractors, excavators, skid steers, trenchers, all of the above, we rent daily, weekly, monthly.
Okay.
And then coming up for this deer season, of course, we'd love you to come by our tractor packages and take a look at that, what you need for your food plots. But if you're only using it one time a year, why do I need to buy that? Let me come in and rent. So we rent everything that you would need at your deer camp, from a tractor and a cutter if you need to get your grass clipped, hadn't cut it all year, or discs, spreaders, tillers. When you get ready to plant, we have all of that here.
Yeah, and experts to help and that sort of thing too. Oh, by the way, if you're tuning in, there's some pizza here. For now,
a little bit.
You and I finished off one there pretty quickly, I think.
It was that little, dominant. It's the
thin crust.
I say it's thin crust. It's you
so
can
good.
Eat that. Like, it's so bad. I'll start eating one and I'll eat up a whole large, and then I kind of feel bad about myself.
I'll take that thin crust pizza and fold it up, and then I can eat it really quick. Then
somebody at the gym said that was okay to eat the little thin crust. It's supposed, as long as you got like a vegetable or two on top of it. It's
whatever
good.
You got to tell yourself, John. I do that.
It's good.
It's thin crust. It's healthy.
That's what they said.
But there's more of that. We got some more of this Jonathan McMillan for House District 58 bottled water over there, nice and cold. So if you're burning up hot, come on in here and drink some cold water with. Hey, speaking of, how's that going?
Campaign?
Yeah.
Well, we have
knock on doors.
8 days. So 8 days. So yeah, we man, this is, I've never run for office before. It has been an experience, but it's been a great experience. I mean, I've gotten to get out and meet a ton of folks, talk about issues, problems. I mean, that's kind of what we do here every day anyway, but just this is going to open me up to deal with more issues out there in the community. I think we just got to get back to just real folks serving their community for the right reasons. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's been positive. There's been a ton of support out there, man. I can't thank folks enough, man. I'm just really blessed.
That's great. Sure. That's great. You see that guy in boots and a DeViney hat knocking on doors. It's probably Jonathan.
I did have to go the other day. It was like I left the store. I couldn't get out. It was like 5:30 or 6. So when I left here and then I went straight out knocking. So I literally had my boots and blue jeans on, and I think they thought I was crazy coming in there with boots and blue jeans. I was like, I'm really working the vote this afternoon.
Yeah.
Like really working for it. So.
Yeah. Well, my challenge to you is when you are elected and you go to the Capitol, wear the same boots.
Well, this is what I usually wear every day.
I wonder how many.
I probably will.
I wonder how many representatives and senators walk up in the Capitol with boots on.
Well, I tell you what, I just saw Mr. Lynn Posey. He's our commissioner, Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, and I think he's got a pair of boots on right there. So there you go.
You know who else he brought with him?
Nothing wrong wearing some boots.
You know who he brought with him?
Who'd you bring?
Larry Pugh, Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, fisheries biologist extraordinaire.
There we go.
You might need to take it. He's sitting on a Toro Red Max right now.
Do we need to put our hooks in him? Do we need to put our hooks in him right now? Look, Larry said he's in. He's shaking. Like I like that.
We're just getting started with you today on this Monday from DeViney Live. Come on out and see us. We'll be right back after this.
Today's game from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Time was their breakfasts were gloomy. They just didn't feel right, and they didn't know a delicious cereal could help their sad plight. So they tried this and tried that, but irregularity kept coming back all the same. For as often the case, lack of bulk in their diet was actually to blame. Once at the grocer's, the wife was so drooping and sagging that a neighbor said, "Get on Kellogg's All-Bran wagon. Why, All-Bran has a flavor that's scrumptious to eat. So rich and nut-like, makes breakfast a treat. And of course, Kellogg's All-Bran can help you each day to youthful regularity, the dietary way." "Well, it might do some good," said the wife with a sigh. "Guess I'll get some All-Bran and give it a try." Soon, breakfasts at her house were happy and bright, for delicious Kellogg's All-Bran set their day off right. Yes, All-Bran supplies all the bulk in your diet, you see, that you may need for youthful regularity. And no half-brand cereal possibly can provide this help as surely as Kellogg's All-Bran. A delicious, non-habit-forming aid to your diet. You're sure to like All-Bran. Just buy it and try it.
Get on the Kellogg's All-Bran wagon with the best bran in the land. The cereal, the taste bran, the cereal that's All-Bran. A breakfast treat that can't be beat. Be a regular guy and climb aboard the All-Bran wagon. Eat Kellogg's All-Bran.
What is the secret of this enchanted book? What wonders are hidden within its pages? What magical spell does it cast on all who read it? What is the secret of the never-ending story?
But that's impossible!
You will enter a world where a young boy's imagination becomes a vivid reality. The world of Atreyu and Artax, the Rockbiter, and a good and kind gnome. A world that is vast and eternal, treacherous and dazzling, unforgettable and free. For anyone who's ever made a wish, believed in a fantasy, or had a dream, this is the never-ending story.
It's a new thing, it's a fun thing, it's a swing wing.
It's a what?
It's a swing wing, it's a wing wing. A brand new transparent fun thing.
It's a what?
It's a swing wing. A fun thing. And now it's your favorite store thing.
It's a what?
Mazda announces some great news for truck buyers. Right now, you can beat the already outstanding value of the $67.95 Mazda SE5. Introducing Mazda SE5 Plus 5. $625 worth of extra features at no extra charge from Mazda. You get a bed liner, mud guards, sliding rear window, floor mats, and AM/FM stereo. That's a $625 value at no extra charge. But hurry, offer ends soon.
No, what happened? Yeah.
Or even losing a game.
$1 million a year? What? Really? Yeah, that's a whole different world. Matt White. Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. So you have a seat there, and this is the headset we use. And I will tell you, let's see, let me pop those on the ears there. All right, back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Mobile version. We packed it up, put it in a suitcase, brought it here to DeViney Equipment on Highway 51 in Madison, set it all back up, and here we are, flapping our gums on the radio with you on a Monday. And I'm joined by Mr. Lynn Posey, the Executive Director of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Mr. Posey, happy Monday to you. How you doing?
It is Monday, Matt.
It is a Monday. And hopefully I don't have those headphones too loud. I don't want to burst any ear.
Down a little bit.
Down just a little bit. Is that a little better right there? A little more, a little more?
That should be good right there.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, it's a great for me to get a chance to meet you. Of course, I know who you are, and so many others do. I guess maybe a little over a year and a half now as the Executive Director at MDWFP. Is that right?
Went on as a Deputy Director for a while and been close to a year now as far as the Executive Director. Yes, sir.
How about it so far?
I'm enjoying it. Kind of asked for the job and was fortunate to get it, and got a lot of work left to do, and that's what we're working on these days.
So in terms of, workload and kind of the job and, I mean, it's just a massive part of our state government that you're now sort of overseeing. How do you summarize what it's like to be in that position? What day-to-day is like for you?
Well, it's a lot of moving parts up there, but, we feel good about what we're doing there. And, of course, we're out to serve the sportsmen, men and women of the state of Mississippi, and try to do the best job we can with managing the wildlife and making our parks better, and just a lot of things. It's a variety of things that we do, and affects a lot of people. We touch someone in all 82 counties across this state. So
sure, no doubt about it. Jonathan and I were talking a minute ago, hot as all get out outside. It's July 31st, but it's fixing to be August. There's something about like when we step over into August, we start thinking about deer hunting. We start thinking about shooting doves and everything. So, I mean, does it feel that way too from the agency side? Like we're really close.
It does. We're getting there. We've had the expo, finished up this expo this weekend, and everybody was there. We got to visit with a number of people, and they were there, looking over all the hunting and fishing stuff and the equipment store. So, of course, Jonathan and his crew were there with their equipment and all. But when the expo gets ready to go, it's starting to be hunting season. We've got several seasons rolling around: dove, alligator. Got the new velvet season, or practically new velvet season, open this year, and so it's this month. It's here.
Tell me about the new velvet season.
This year it'll be between September 15th through 17th, and it's awful hot. If you like hot weather and bow hunting, you should have a good time because. But we have numbered deer killed last year, and of course you can pattern deer real easy this time of year, and then it's got to be a thing kind of across the nation that folks would like to try to kill a deer in velvet, and we were able to work with our commission and the legislature and get this new antler season. Velvet season passed, and folks are really enjoying it.
How did that come about? You said there's a lot of people around the country also that like to do that.
Well, other states have started doing it. Opening the season just a little bit early because you got a certain time frame. You can catch the deer while they're still in velvet, and they shed it real quick. And that's the time frame we thought would be best. It's about the middle of September, and of course the regular bow season opens October the 1st. But to get one in velvet, you got to get a little earlier.
Yeah, and put up with the heat. We know it is,
and put up with the heat and the mosquitoes and everything else that goes with bow hunting.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess that's it. It's just part of it, isn't it?
It is.
And those of us who are adamant or die hard, we're itching to get out there.
Yeah, we got a lot of those here in Mississippi too.
For sure, no doubt about it. Lynn Posey is the executive director of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks, Mississippi Department of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks here in the state. You mentioned the alligator program too. It's like anytime that comes up, we talk about it. I know, like comparatively, the season for that's pretty short, right?
It is. I think this year it's going to run from like maybe, I think it's August 25th. Of course, all the permits have been drawn and people are gearing up for it, and opens the 25th, and I think runs through the, I don't know, first part of August there. It doesn't go long. You got about 2 weekends involved in it there that you can get out there if you got the permit to go.
End of August, 1st of September?
It is. 25th of August through sometime first part of September.
First part of September. How is the decision made on like how long that season will last, open for alligator, and like how do you come about those decisions?
Our biologists there at the department try to make those decisions. Most everything we do there at the department is driven by the biology and want to make sure we get it right. But there's some really knowledgeable people there. Ricky Flynn handled our alligator program for a number of years, and Andrew Arnett handles it, and they both do a good job with the program.
When someone who maybe is unfamiliar, or maybe you meet someone and they find out, you're over the Department of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks, if the very basic question comes up and they say, well, what do you do? Like, what's the purpose of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks? How do you summarize that in one answer?
Well, I think a lot of it goes to just trying to manage the resources for our future generations. That's a big part of my philosophy. We want to keep this thing. We've all had our opportunity to do our hunting and fishing, but we've got a new generation of hunters and fishermen coming on, and we want to preserve the natural resource. The natural resource we have in the state of Mississippi, we're blessed to have what we have. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, natural resources anywhere in the United States. We're really blessed here with that. We want to preserve that for future generations.
Sure. Here it is, hot. It's going to get up to 100. It's the end of July, and I was driving this morning early on the Natchez Trace from my home in Tupelo coming south down here to Madison, and I saw turkey. And I had just come back from a vacation with my family. Well, not really vacation. We had a reason to go, but to New York. We spent last week in New York City. I mean, right there in Times Square and everything. And it felt so good to be on that wide open Natchez Trace. I didn't see very many cars. It was 8 a.m. I saw a turkey. I saw a deer. And I thought, man, I felt like I could breathe. We sometimes forget how lucky we are here, don't we?
We do. We take a lot of our natural resources for granted. And, when you have as much as we do, that's easy to do. But yet at the same time, you got to take a little time to appreciate what you have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What's you think on the agenda looking forward, over the next few years and everything for the department and things that y'all are working on that maybe our audience could know about?
Well, one of the big programs we're working on now, and let me just take a minute to say thank you to the legislature, the governor, lieutenant governor, and all Senate and House for giving us the money to work on it. But for years, we haven't been able to fund our parks like we felt like we should. But when they got an opportunity to do it, they've given us some money to work on the parks. And we're right in the middle of a revitalization of all our parks. We have 25 of them in the state, and we had 5 of them in the first round that we were doing. And they're going to be we hope to go through them from top to bottom, infrastructure, the whole 9 yards, to really make them things that the folks of the state of Mississippi can be proud of.
Right. There's one right up there where I live, Elvis Presley State Park.
Presley.
I guess it's right sort of in the middle of the process right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of them we started on, and some of them we're getting close to finishing. But here over the next probably 5 years, it'll take at least that long to go through some of them. And just might mention this, that 3 of our parks, because the infrastructure is so massive in those parks, that on September the 5th, Paul B. Johnson, let's see, Percy Quinn, and one more, and I'll have to get that name here in a minute. We're going to have to close those to most everything except day use for about a year to really do the camp pads, the cabins, the infrastructure, and the infrastructure is why we actually having to close the parks to everything but day use.
Okay. And on those 2 you mentioned, and then one more, and we'll get the name. That's beginning of September, and so I'll run through basically this time next year.
Buccaneer's the 3rd park.
Buccaneer?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me again. Buccaneer, O'Quinn.
No, Percy Quinn. And Paul B.
And Paul B. Okay.
Paul B. Johnson. Down at Hattiesburg.
And Hattiesburg. Okay.
They'll close it on the 5th, and they'll be closed just like I say, everything but pretty much day use until probably for about a year.
Okay. Okay. And it's necessary. I think people understand that.
They do. Folks are really excited to get the parks back the way they want them to be, and that's what we're trying to get them for them.
Great. That's great. Well, I appreciate you for coming and spending some time with me. It's good to meet you face to face.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I've seen your name, read your quotes, all that. It's nice to meet you face to face. And I also appreciate you bringing along Larry Pugh with you. I've known Larry for a long time, and anytime I need to fill some time on the radio and I can get Larry talking about fishing, we can go and go and go. I'm sure you've noticed that too.
He'll take up the time for you. He certainly will, and he knows what he's talking about.
He certainly does. He certainly does. As evidenced by these pictures he'll send me every now and then of him posing, holding a big old bass, and he'll have somebody with him, taking that picture. And I mess with him. I say, it's always somebody else taking that picture. It's never me. You never have me there taking it. But maybe he's going to take me fishing one of these days.
Maybe you can get him out there. But you notice he's taken so many, he's learned how to stick them way out in front of him there where to get the advantage of the size.
The perspective, yeah. Like the closer I can get this 2-pounder to the camera, the more like a 4-pounder it looks.
A true fisherman.
That's right. Mr. Posey, thank you so much.
Thank you,
really,
Matt.
Really good to see you.
Enjoyed it.
Yep, enjoyed that. That's Lynn Posey. He's the Executive Director of Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Back with you in moments at DeViney Equipment, live here on Highway 51 in Madison. Y'all stick around.
Have you ever wished for one product that would clean and shine almost everything in your house? Here it is, Clean and Shine. Like magic, Clean and Shine leaves a nice shine on fine wood furniture, so you don't need furniture polish. It cleans and shines mirrors, so you don't need glass cleaner for mirrors. It cleans and shines refrigerators, like this kitchen product, even countertops, tile, and vinyl. Try new Clean and Shine, the foam that cleans and shines almost everything in your house.
Someday when people look at me, they'll say, there goes Roy Hobbs, the best there ever was.
TriStar Pictures presents Robert Redford in The Natural, the story of a father and a son.
You got a gift, Roy, but it's not enough.
Of love.
He means the world to me.
And desire.
I'm not waiting for true love to come along, Roy.
A champion.
Roy Hobbs comes along once, maybe twice in everybody's lifetime.
And his destiny.
With or without the records, they'll remember you.
Best there is now, and best there ever will be.
I wouldn't bet against me.
I already have.
Robert Redford, Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Kim Basinger, Wilford Brimley, Barbara Hershey, Robert Prosky, and Richard Farnsworth as read. The Natural.
Do you know me? Would you believe I'm Bugs Bunny? I'm also the voice of many other cartoon characters. But in here, they don't care if I'm Elmer Fudd. So I carry an American Express card, the one card I need for travel and entertaining, for business and pleasure. Why, without this, the only way I'd get any attention is by saying, that's all, folks.
To apply for a card, call 800-528-8000.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The following is a presentation of TBS Sports. Exclusively on Superstation TBS. Superstation TBS presents the Atlanta Braves, America's team. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. This Bud's for you. By the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, Delta. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Eckerd Drugs, America's family drugstore.
If a man you've never met before suddenly gives you flowers, that's elation. The exciting new fragrance from Impulse.
Thursday, it's Cosby starting off a night of family fun. And leave it to Family Ties to keep the laughs coming.
Oh, no. What are we going to do? Everything's under control.
Then on Cheers, will Norm think on a friend to get a promotion?
Yes, Stone, yes.
And the fun continues with Night Court.
I'm here to strip for Dan Fielding.
Thursday.
Oh, what a meal, oh.
Hamburger helper lasagna.
For your family.
Authentic Italian taste.
Hearty robusto. But not too spicy, eh?
Hamburger helper lasagna turns your plain hamburger into a delicious Italian meal with authentic Italian taste. Curly Italian noodles, rich tomato sauce, and a better blend of spices.
Hamburger helper. Lasagna.
Helper, hamburger helper.
Make a great meal, oh.
Wooden for more than a week.
Matt Wyatt is in the house on Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone105.9.com.
All right, back with you. Rolling along here on this Monday. It sure is good to be back to what kind of feels normal, back in Mississippi. Also back 2 hours on the radio with you as opposed to 1 hour. And talking to folks, including not just about football, but also about a little outdoors, a little hunting, a little fishing, talking with Jonathan about tractors and mowers and all that kind of stuff. So really appreciate y'all tuning in here with us today on this Monday, live from DeViney Equipment on Highway 51 in Madison. Now sitting here with my friend Larry Pugh. He is a wildlife fisheries biologist, fisheries biologist with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks, deputy director. Y'all have heard him on the radio here on the show before. Larry, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
It's good
I always look forward to coming on and talking a little fishing with you.
Yes, sir. Well, if you are fishing these days, you are one dedicated rascal. I know that much because it's warm.
Yeah,
it's warm out there.
You know, it started, about a month ago? We started looking at 100, 120-degree heat indices.
Yeah.
And we started seeing water temps 90, 91.
Yeah.
You know, that makes for some tough conditions. Now, I know, a lot of folks have been having some success, but I haven't had the desire.
Right. It's because it may be 90 under that surface of that water, but it means it's about 107 up there on the deck of that boat. So it's tough. I mean, we talk about boater safety, but this time of year, stay hydrated.
Sure.
Sunscreen, all those things.
I did have a chance a few weeks back to get out and do some crappie fishing on Sardis, and thoroughly enjoyed that. And was able to see that there were quite a few others doing the same thing. So there's still people fishing. I saw a guy on the lake Friday. My wife and I were doing a little boat riding, and he had the umbrellas on the front, and I was thinking, that I might be there one day. Sitting on the front of the boat with that big umbrella up. Always got some shade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm curious about this, and this may be something you kind of educate a novice like me.
Mm-hmm.
small bodies of water.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hear people use the term turned over.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. The pond turned over. It's going to turn over. All right. Well, what does that even mean?
Well, in our part of the state, very little.
Okay.
For a lake or a pond to turn over, first of all, it's got to form layers. It's got to stratify,
and that happens during the heat.
But it's also got to be deep enough to stratify.
Okay.
So that's why we tell pond owners, don't build a pond deeper than 10 feet. We don't want it to stratify.
Uh-huh.
Anything 20 foot deeper probably is going to stratify this time of year. And what happens is that cold or cooler anoxic water, no oxygen, is at the bottom. Okay. And when we say it turns over, it could be a brief wind in the fall, and it causes those layers to mix. Oh. And it takes oxygen out of the water, and you have a fish kill. Oh. Now, most people in ponds, I just got off the phone with a guy we both know that had called me about a problem he may be having with his pond. What we have is plankton, form dense blooms, microscopic organisms. And what happens is, if you get a sudden die-off, it takes oxygen out of the water. And people say, well, my pond turned over. No, you had a plankton die-off is what you had. Okay. Is what you had. So there's a difference. It's got to be deep enough to stratify, to turn over, but most of the ponds I've seen over my 25 plus years have been algae or plankton die-offs.
Okay. So again, another novice. I'll follow one novice question up with another one. So let's say there is a pond that is deep enough to turn over, and it has done that.
Okay.
Is the fish kill the sign that I see that happened, or are there other signs that has gone on?
Typically, what you see when a pond has turned over or is turning over, the fish will be at the surface.
Okay.
And they'll be what we call piping. Their little mouths will be at the surface because the last little bit of oxygen in that pond is what we call at the air-water interface, where the two meet. And that's where the last little bit of oxygen will be. And if you see that situation, there's no oxygen and you're fixing to have a fish kill.
Yeah.
Now, a fish kill from oxygen depletion typically doesn't wipe out. It's not catastrophic.
Okay.
All right. A lot of the larger fish can seek areas of refuge, so there will be areas in a pond that will still have places they can escape, and the pond typically will end up being fine.
Okay. And one more.
Sure.
When I see those big grass carp up on the surface this time of year, that's just what they do.
Yeah. They're probably starving. They've become efficient at their job, and they're trying to get any little bit of vegetation they can. I've actually seen grass carp at a golf course eating the clippings from the mower. Mm-hmm. So, when grass carp get almost over 15 or 20 pounds, they've outlived their usefulness, and you need to take the opportunity to remove those if you get the chance.
Yeah. One of our listeners, he's out in Arizona now in Flagstaff, Jason, but he's from Tishomingo County.
No.
And he tells a story about on his prom night.
Yeah.
He was wearing a white tuxedo, and they got bored. I think, Jason, you'll have to correct me if I'm telling it wrong, but they got bored or something and went and bow fished.
Yeah.
In his white prom tux. that was his prom memory.
We see that a lot. And it's becoming more and more popular. So there's a lot of folks in the Delta and our part of the world that get out there and do a lot of bow fishing for rough fish.
Is that the same as a normal fishing license?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And, there's only a list of what we call rough fish, non-game fish that you can shoot: your carp, buffalo, shad, catfish, that are legal to shoot, grass carp, and starting to see more and more of it.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to do it a couple of times. It was a lot of fun. It's just, we were out till 1 or 2 in the morning, and I just didn't really care that much about doing that. And the bugs.
Yeah, I bet. At some point, it's bedtime. I mean, at some point, the older we get, Larry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Now, and I hadn't done it, but I've done just enough playing around in the water to think, all right, I think I'm shooting that arrow from that bow at a certain angle here. But when it gets in that water, it's going to deflect one way or the other, isn't it? If it has to travel too far.
I can't remember if it's refraction or what. The guy I went with was a professional. He bow fished professionally, and he was trying to teach me how to aim, and that's been so long ago. I think you have to aim a lot under it instead of aiming right at the fish, because of where you see the fish in refraction. You have to aim a good bit under it. But it wasn't as easy as it looked, I can tell you that.
Here's a question from Blind Squirrel Sports. He's on the all-name team. He says, how much does a fishing license cost in the state of Mississippi?
$10. Best deal out there. Obviously, that's just going to be fishing and small game. There's probably an agent fee there. I can't, like $11.85 might be the total, but it's good from a year from the date you purchase it.
Yeah.
And then you'd step up, and your next one to be an all game hunting and fishing license. I think it's 25 plus. And then I prefer the sportsman's license. I don't hunt much, but I just like the convenience of having that credit card. Look, and I think it's now 50.
Yeah.
And so you can go if you just fishing, get you $10, $11.85. You can fish the whole year.
The whole year. It doesn't cost much at all.
Right.
I did mine online this most recent time, and I opted in on the magazine too. I was glad I did that.
Yeah.
Because it shows up, and I've got something to read, and and honestly, I'm just old fashioned enough that every now and then I want to do something to read other than flipping my phone.
Yeah. You want something you can put your fingers on.
Yeah. And the photography and the pictures and stuff, it's a great publication.
We're constantly changing that layout, Matt. And our communications, public relations folks, marketing folks are doing a great job with changing the look of that, changing the type of material we have, and been pretty proud of the response we got from the people, what they want to see in that magazine.
That's great. I got a message here, Larry, from someone in Vicksburg that would like to say hello to you. Her name is Debbie Freeman. She just happens to be my mother-in-law. She texted, "Hey, Larry," with 3 heart emojis.
Oh, goodness.
So,
well, Debbie and I go way back.
You do, don't you?
Yeah. Probably, I'd guess 1983, 82.
That's not that long ago.
So I know Winky and Debbie have known them forever, as I do your wife and her sister. So great folks.
Well, thank you. I think so too. I get to go spend the night with Winky and Debbie tonight.
Okay.
I think we're I don't know.
They gonna take you out to eat?
We're going somewhere. She didn't. I don't know where, but we're going somewhere.
Okay.
Annabeth did tell me that it was somewhere I had not been, so I'm
That's
really looking
good.
forward to it. There aren't many places in Vicksburg I hadn't eaten some food at some point.
Well, it's changed a lot since I left, but I'm sure that Winky will be have something picked out and have a good surprise for you.
I hope so. He will. Winky's a pretty good cook too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Never had that opportunity.
He's a pretty good cook.
Played a lot of softball with him.
Yeah,
but never got to see how good of a cook he was.
Now they tell some softball stories. One of these days you may know it, but you'll need, if you don't, get them, Winky and Debbie, to tell you the story about one day he was pitching on the softball team, and he turned and yelled at Debbie, who was in the stands complaining, and sort of saying, "Come on," said, "Shut up and go over there."
I may be familiar with that story. I didn't know that was public knowledge.
I think he had enough.
Yeah,
we'll have to.
We could share some more Winky Freeman softball stories. I can tell you that.
I will tell you. It's perfectly ironic how many crazy stories happen at church softball events. Right?
Yeah.
For the record. Oh, that's funny.
Great folks.
Hopefully, I know it won't be this week, and it won't be over the next couple of weeks, but hopefully it's going to cool off at some point, be nice, and give us a little tease of fall, and we can hit the water and look forward to cooler days on the water, Larry.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, I'd love for you and I to go, and we've got a lake about 30 minutes south of Tupelo in Monroe County that's been closed ever since the tornado came through. And we're going to try to reopen that September 1st to the public.
Monroe County Lake?
Lake Monroe.
Okay.
And maybe we can meet down there one evening or, one morning, maybe after the show or something, when it starts cooling off, because I love fishing Lake Monroe. It's got some awesome bass fishing, some good crappie fishing. So maybe we get down there and give it a try.
Blast from the past. The only time I've ever been on that lake was with you doing a news story 20 years ago, shocking up fish. It's the only time I've ever been on that lake.
I can't remember. I don't even remember that, man.
Well, I appreciate you coming, Larry. Thank you so much, man. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yep, that's Larry Pugh. Stick around.
Thursday, it's Cosby starting off a night of family fun. And leave it to Family Ties to keep the laughs coming.
Oh, no. What are they going to do? Everything's under control.
Then on Cheers, will Norm think on a friend to get a promotion?
Yes, yes.
And the fun continues with Night Court. Thursday.
For over half a century, dairymen have tried to capture in cans the flavor of pure, fresh milk.
And now Foremost has discovered the secret with an evaporated milk that's closest by far to fresh milk itself.
Kind of hard to believe, isn't it? An evaporated milk that doesn't have that old-fashioned evaporated milk taste. But it's true, and you can prove it. You know how most evaporated milks taste in coffee. The flavor goes flat. But try Foremost. You'll see it's white, the way milk ought to look, not drab tan like other brands. And when you taste it, well, if you're anything like me, you'll never even know it isn't pure, fresh cream. You try it and see. That's Foremost, the closest thing in cans to pure, fresh milk. Remember, your family gets the most from Foremost.
Coca-Cola, come on, girl, gotta share a Coke with you. Let the feeling show through. You wanna live a little bit more. That's what the taste of Coke is for. Coke is life. Everybody wants a little life. Coca-Cola, Coke is life. Everybody wants.
Come on, Harry, come on. We're getting our picture taken.
Special moments. Times of your life you'll want to remember. In pictures.
Smile, Howard. Smile.
To help make those pictures look as good as they can, make sure Kodak paper is behind them. If you don't see these words, it isn't Kodak paper. Just look for this sign when you get your pictures. Kodak paper, for a good look at the times of your life.
See, wasn't that fun?
Come and get it. Come and get it.
Stop the confusion. Stop the confusion. Everybody wants to get into the act with Kellogg's Variety Pack. Buster wants the cornflakes. Pop wants a pep. Mama loves the raisin bran. Mama is hip. Sister loves Rice Krispies. And there's Uncle Jack. He loves Kellogg's shredded wheat. Kellogg's makes it fun to eat. Breakfast with Variety Pack. Okay, folks, there's your favorite individual box of cereal, fresh from Kellogg's Variety Pack, untouched by human hands, except your own. That don't mean you gotta eat with 'em. Each individual box comes to your FOD, fresh on delivery from Battle Creek, right to your own dish. Yeah, everybody wants to get into the act with Kellogg's Variety Pack. Yes, sir, Kellogg's Variety Pack.
Here comes the one, the delicious one. Heinz is the big red one. There's only one ketchup with this flavor pouring on. So thick, so rich, so second to none.
Only one ketchup stands for this kind of thickness with this kind of taste. Heinz.
Heinz is the big rich one.
I love the rich, whole wheat goodness of Kellogg's Mini Wheats. But the delicious frosted side makes the rich kid in me open wide.
The nutritious shredded wheat helps keep me on my toes. But the little ballerina in me thinks the taste steals the show.
Kellogg's Mini Wheats, wholesome shredded wheat for the adult in you, great taste for the kid in you. So they're delicious and nutritious.
The whole grain wheat really packs a crunch, but the delicious taste gives it just the right punch.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Today's game from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Time was their breakfasts were gloomy. They just didn't feel right, and they didn't know a delicious cereal could help their sad plight.
So they tried this and tried that, but irregularity kept coming back all the same. For as often the case, lack of bulk in their diet was actually to blame. Once at the grocer's, the wife was so drooping and sagging that a neighbor said, "Get on Kellogg's All-Bran wagon. Why, All-Bran has a flavor that's scrumptious to eat. So rich and nut-like, makes breakfast a treat. And of course, Kellogg's All-Bran can help you each day to youthful regularity, the dietary way." "Well, it might do some good," said the wife with a sigh. "Guess I'll get some All-Bran and give it a try." Soon, breakfasts at her house were happy and bright, for delicious Kellogg's All-Bran.
1059.com.
All right, back with you. Hour number 2 of the show, kicking off on this Monday. Normally like a reaction Monday, and we'll have plenty of those coming up. We're getting closer and closer to the start of football season. More on that in a bit. I'm happy to be back with you here on this Monday for a normal 2 hours of radio. You know, last week, the whole week, I spent with the family in New York, and we did 1 hour each day as I sat sort of in a little waiting area at a theater studio space in Manhattan, just a couple of blocks from Times Square, called Ripley Greer Studios, where Mary Liddy, my daughter, was going through a Broadway camp for kids, and she just had a blast. She made friends from all over the country, and they were from Louisiana and from Virginia, and one from Seattle, and they've been texting each other, since then and everything. It's been really a lot of fun. And so, yeah, I mean, my radio experience last week was abnormal, compared to what we normally do here on the show. And live stream was not available and that sort of thing. And did 1 hour. Now we're back to 2 hours. We're getting closer and closer. I'm on the road today, on the road tomorrow. Back in the normal Farm Bureau Insurance studio on Wednesday. Speaking of Farm Bureau Insurance, check out the logo. Go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes. That's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents, available to you in all 82 counties. Jonathan McMillan here at DeViney Equipment on Highway 51 in Madison.
I will say this. I'm glad your daughter gets all her talent from her mama.
Yeah, me too.
She's phenomenal. Hey, and I told you this when we walked in. So if everybody out here is listening, if y'all follow Matt on Facebook or his bride or on Instagram, y'all go and watch the video of Mary Liddy. It is phenomenal. She is a superstar.
Well, thank you.
She is awesome. She's a rock star. I'm just telling you.
Saying that.
I'm just telling you, she is great.
She can rattle the windows now when she gets ready
to. I told you, I watched that. Usually, I'll go and watch a video. When I watched her video 12 times, she was that good.
That's where
that was it. I get all those clicks. I was like, man,
that's where all those views
really
came
good.
From. I wondered who that was.
That was me.
I appreciate that.
12 clicks.
I appreciate you, Jonathan. Just refresh.
That's what I did.
Refresh.
Bam. Wow.
That's great. Excuse me. See, we got all choked up. No, actually, what that is pepperoni pizza with a little.
Did you get the onion? There was a little kick to one of them.
The crust over there. They sprinkle that. I don't know if it's Parmesan cheese or what, but they sprinkle it on the crust. And I think that's what I got. I got to go get me some more of this Jonathan McMillan for House District 58.
58.
Water.
8 days.
Yeah. 8 days. Well, that's right. Go to the polls in 8 days.
8 days.
For someone, see, I've never, run for office. I know
you should. We've discussed this before.
But you haven't either. This is your first.
This is my first
go
time.
at it.
That's right.
I wonder what this last week leading up to Election Day is going to be like for everybody who's running for office.
Well, it's a lot. I know from my side, it's a lot.
Schedule's pretty full.
Well, I mean, it's a commitment, especially. I mean, when you work, of course. My deal running for the House, running for the legislature, which I don't want to turn this into a whole political conversation, but I mean, I think we do need people who work in the legislature. We need people who work every day, people who understand issues on a daily basis. Run a business, take care of kids. I mean, when you go to the Capitol, I mean, those are the issues that we talk about. I mean, and we've got to have somebody that people serving, people stepping out that deal with that daily. That have their finger on the pulse. Is not there again. Not I didn't mean to go this way, but I mean, even at church yesterday, we were sitting there and talking about just sometimes I think the Lord wants us to step out of our comfort zone. Some we get so comfortable in our bubble, and this is what we do every day, and sometimes we say no a lot.
Right.
And I think the Lord wants us to try to step out and do some other things. And this is kind of my step out on faith here a little bit. So yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is, I look at you. It's a little bit of a different approach for you too, because I mean, you're not only here, but you got a bunch of youngins that you're raising in this community. So like, if you're raising a family in a community, well, everything and all the decisions that are made here affect your family. So when you're a dad, you're a husband. It's a very unselfish thing to stick your neck out there.
Well,
not everybody has the
desire. I think more people need to. I hope at least me doing this, win, lose or draw. I mean, we still got to vote, and I'm definitely not a shoe-in by any means. But more people need to, listen to the call and look, see. We need more people involved, more people to step out and serve. It may not be running for a legislative seat, but maybe just get on a board. Get on a hey, I'm interested in this.
Get involved.
Get involved. I'm interested on the planning board or zoning board, something like that. Just to step out. More people need to understand what's going on and what affects them. Because I mean, there's issues every day that we are under attack every day. So
sure.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Jonathan McMillan on your radio right now here in the mobile Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Pack it up in a suitcase, bring it here to DeViney Equipment, and break it all out, put it all back together, and able to be with you here on the radio. I will remind you, you can be a part of the show. You can text me on the Country Pleasing text line at number 885-3776. It's a 601 number, 885-3776. Call me on that DeViney phone, 995-1059. Earlier today, Denzel texted the show to tell us that Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, had passed away. 70 years old, apparently had been fighting cancer. So Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee.
Isn't that sad?
That's bad.
Yep, it is bad.
We used to have the show on Saturday morning. That used to be one of the Pee Wee's Big Adventure or whatever.
Well, let's just say that, I'm not saying us, but there are some people our age that, it's no wonder they turned out the way they did. Growing up watching shows like Pee Wee's Playhouse every Saturday morning. I mean, you talking about something weird. Now, it was funny. But, I mean, talking chairs and couches and I don't know what all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Yeah, y'all can text the show and be a part of it that way. Here, DeViney Deer Camp Tractor Package. If you're just tuning in, we talked about this at the beginning of the show, but if you're just tuning in, you would have missed it. There's a heck of a deal on a whole package. So it's tractor and other stuff for the whole package.
Yep. We got the tractor loader, got a 2501 DT loader, cutter, disc, spreader, and trailer. We got a cash price of $27,800. And then, of course, you can finance that $360 a month if you're looking for something to get out in the woods this fall to get your food plots and deer camping going. I know Mr. Lynn Posey was here.
Yes.
I did not listen to that. How'd that conversation go?
You mean you were busy talking to somebody else?
may have been running my mouth over there.
Yeah. No, it went well. I asked him a little bit. He brought up that early, I guess it sounded like it's 2 or 3 days of you can hunt and try to kill a deer in velvet.
Velvet, yeah.
And I asked him kind of where that came from, where it came about, but it's just all part of the numbers game that the biologists play to try to protect basically your wildlife population in the state, and other states were doing it. It became very popular, and they said, we have the numbers here that certainly can support that, so we'll open it up and do the velvet deal.
But you had to get a special permit for that
it did not sound like you had to get a special one.
Okay,
but I didn't ask that question specifically.
Yeah. No, I'll text somebody.
You might want to follow up
on that.
On that. But we did say so it's at that time in September where you're going to be up there bow hunting, and it is going to be hot.
Oh yeah,
and there will be mosquitoes. Speaking of, I saw something on your shelf either the last time I was here or it might have been last year. That was several different types of mosquito repellent. So when hunters come in, they can get that here as well.
Yep, we've got, of course, the thermocelles, which people, you use those. People have used those for years. Those do a really good job, but they have different sizes and types that you can go out there and use. But yeah, that kind of gets you a little barrier that kind of protects you. And we've even got some that you can put on your back patio. If you're out there hanging out, watching TV or whatever, stick it on your.
Yeah.
They have different colors. My wife would approve.
Hey,
of that.
True story
just
here.
A camo or black or they got. I think we got pink ones over there, red ones.
It's different here, and we know it is. But look, last week Okay, so we spent really 7.5 days in New York. And
what are you saying, Matt? It's different in New York than it is in Mississippi.
Well, it got hot there. Well, first of all, it got hot there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and they had one day where it got up, a couple of 3 degrees over 90, and they called it a heat wave. And there were people even like getting out of work, and they treat it like we treat 8 inches of snow here.
Heat wave.
Hey, I ain't going outside today. It's 8 inches of snow on the ground. Well, hey, it's 94. I'm not going outside. We're working.
But I mean,
home.
was it the humidity heat, or was it concrete heat, or
it was concrete?
Everybody
heat.
talks about it's dry heat versus down here.
It's concrete heat, radiating.
Yeah,
when you're in town,
sure.
It's hot.
Yeah, that's right.
But here, it's just really a pretty mild summer day. Compared to humidity and 100 degrees that we're going to have a couple times this week. But the other thing I was going to say is I was there for a week, came home, was home Saturday night for about 4 hours, went outside. After I got home, put the sprinkler out after the sun started going down, got 3 mosquito bites. I was home for 3 hours, got 3 mosquito bites. Been gone for a week in New York, didn't see one mosquito.
None up there.
Right.
So leave with a thermocell.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a reason we sell thermocells and the like down here.
Yeah. Get you a thermocell before you leave.
Yeah, do that.
Of course, we got several customers. They do the on the back porch and patio, they have the systems, the misting systems. I guess it protects your whole house.
Those are pretty popular.
Yeah. I got a couple of buddies who put those in. Yeah.
Let me hit a couple of text messages and see where we go here, Jonathan. J-Rock. Well, that's what they used to call you at MC was J-Rock. This is a different J-Rock.
J-Mac. I don't know.
This is J-Rock, not J-Mac. J-Rock says, hey, Matt, enjoyed all the videos you posted from New York. Glad y'all made it back safely. Tell Jonathan he's got my vote.
Hey, thanks, J-Rock.
Hey, you got at least one.
I got one. That's great.
You got at least one.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Jason in Flagstaff, Arizona says, looked at his Facebook page, and I can't tell you how impressed I am these days to see a candidate focused on local stuff as opposed to professional politicians who do nothing but point at national nonsense.
Hey.
So let's see. How about these phrases here? Okay, focused on local. And then he said professional politicians, and then he said national nonsense.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of draw the line. I like the terms, Jason.
Where's Jason at? Jason's in Flagstaff.
He's out in Arizona. He's originally from Tishomingo County, Iuka.
Okay. Yeah.
So
thanks, Jason. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, we got to get back to just. I mean, obviously, I'm doing everything I can to. Everybody has their own opinion about Washington politics. That's not what I'm running for. I'm running for my community. This is where I live. This is where I work. This is where my kids go to school. So 100,000%. This is my what I want to try to help and keep going in the right direction. So
if you think about it, there's actually a couple of different ways to look at that word representative. Like because you got you got noun, verb, but if you look at it one way, representative. You take someone who is sort of representative of the broader community. Well, you're someone who's lived here, you've grown up here, you're raising a family here, you're working here, you got a business here. So you are very representative of the kind of people that are here in this district.
You've got to be more than, I think, to be effective, especially on a state level. You have to be more than one-dimensional. I've said that a few times. I think, we have a lot of people that get into politics here lately, and this is one reason why I'm stepping out. I think people are more agenda-based. I want to push this agenda or this one issue or help this one group. And like J-Rock was saying, or Jason was talking about being the, community basis. You've got to be able to serve the entire community, not just one segment of the community. So that's what I've tried to do for years. I've been here for over 30 years, and here at this business, I mean, we're not going to turn anybody down if they want to buy tractors. So we deal with anybody and everybody. So,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yep. So y'all text us on the Country Pleasing text line, 885-3776, 601 number, 885-3776. I got a football comment here from Blind Squirrel Sports on the live stream. He says, Matt, is there a freeze warning in Mississippi? Or are Alabama and Georgia the only SEC teams in danger of losing multiple recruits to Auburn? Well, yeah, he's talking about Coach Freeze and recruiting at Auburn. Look, I mean, here's what you got to know, Blind Squirrel. You live in an era now. It is a pay-for-play era, and we call it name, image, and likeness, and that's just the term that we're using. to insinuate that it's marketing and it kind of satisfies the laws and stuff. But we know that it really, more than anything else, is pay for play. That's what it is. Well, you take somebody like Auburn. Auburn's got a great big fan base and a great big donor base, and they can actually pool a bunch of money. I mean, they can. So of course, other schools can too. But with someone like Freeze and the way he recruits, it's only a matter of time before they get a foothold and build a relationship or two and get somebody to come play for them. That coupled with kind of a free-wielding name, image, and likeness ability, if you want to call it that, they're going to get some players. But so can others, for sure. And I've given strong opinions on that and on him and in recruiting and all that kind of stuff, and I'll save some of that for another day. But, yeah, you say, is there a warning in Mississippi? I hadn't heard anything. One good thing about it here is, in the state, per capita in Mississippi, you got as many big-time recruits and future NFL players as anywhere in the country. And that's good because you do have 2 Southeastern Conference schools and 3 big schools in one very small state in terms of total population. You got just under 3 million people here in the whole state of Mississippi. But you also have coaches and coaching staffs that are really doing well. And so as long as they keep that up, there's no excuse. If you're one of 14 schools in the SEC, there's no excuse not to sign a competitive football team, period. There are enough players out there who want to play in this league. So anyway, we'll get into more of that later on. Jason in Flagstaff, what did he say here about temperatures? He said, until last night, it hadn't gotten under 90 degrees in Phoenix for over a month, even overnight. Everyone south of Louisville laughs at New York City, quote-unquote, heat waves. Isn't that right?
What do they say out in Arizona, though? You got it's 115, but it's that dry heat. It's not really hot. It's that dry. But if it's 115, that's pretty hot.
Look, I felt it last year, because we went and played a game at Arizona. I think it was week 2 of the season, September.
That's right.
We went out there, and that's what we'd heard. It is going to be hot. It is different. You don't have the humidity. But, that's it. You're walking out. We were walking like from the lobby of the hotel outside on the sidewalk out to where the rooms were at this resort. Guess what? Hot. I mean, hot.
If it says 115, I don't want to dry heat, whatever, that's hot.
Well, I didn't. Did you sweat as much? Well, no, I didn't sweat as much, but so what? It's still hot. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day, showed the weatherman saying, the temperature is going to be 95, but it's going to feel like 101. And underneath it, some guy looking at it going, well, then that's the temperature.
It's 101.
If it feels like 101, then that is the temperature.
I don't know what it is out there today, but we were talking about the kids, high school kids, I guess the MHSAA, they passed the rule.
That's exactly right. They passed the 105-degree rule.
I talked to Tim Ceramic this morning. We were talking about it, but I guess is that the actual temp or is that the heat index?
That's what I think is. I thought it was the heat index.
Okay, if it's over 105.
If you're listening and you know differently, what we're talking about is recently the MHSAA here in Mississippi said if it gets to 105, you got to stop football practice, you got to stop band practice, you got to stop cheerleading, do something. When you say stop, either get indoors or stop it. That's my understanding is that, heat index at 105. Because really, you're not going to have, hardly any days where a temperature is going to get to 105. And I just wondered, if like this week, would practice be affected?
I mean, from what I gather, I know the actual temperature is going to be 100 or plus. That's 100, 101, and then you're talking about heat indices of 107, 110.
All right, so let's just look, for instance, here. I'm looking at my app, and let's look at Vicksburg and see what it says. So it's saying today at Vicksburg, right now it's 97 with a high of 98. Okay, tomorrow the high in Vicksburg is supposed to be 100. Wednesday, 101. Thursday, 102. Friday, 104. Saturday, 100. So my question, let's just take a day like Thursday where it's saying that the
104 actual temp?
102 actual temp. See that? This is Vicksburg.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But like Thursday, it says 102. Now, if we click that, let's see. If we click that, does it tell us the feel-like temperature? No, it doesn't. So today, here it is. Check this out. Today in Vicksburg, it says right now the high is 97, but it feels like 112. Now, that's according to one weather app. So I don't know. There's some things on here that I would love to know, like who decides the official temp and the heat index, and when it gets to 105, then how do you do it? Because
I'll get you the guy's contact, Mr. Tim Ceramic. He'll probably get on with you.
Okay.
I bet he would explain that a lot better than
All right.
fumbling through it.
Yeah, so, right, which I'm fumbling through it. But the thing is, that's the point, is they put the deal in, and if it gets to 105, well, guess what? It's going to feel like 105 for most of the state of Mississippi this week. And this is a really important week for football practice.
Yeah. We played. We still practiced. It was 2 days. There was no
man. Look,
I think we drank water literally out of like a PVC pipe with little bit. And there wasn't even ice.
If we didn't practice well, we didn't get water.
That's what I'm telling you.
I had a football coach one time squirt us on the back with a water hose for asking for water.
Oh.
We used to walk out to Mississippi State playing for Coach Sherrill. You know, we'd go out for 2-a-days this time of year, and they would have that helmet over there in this little contraption with that little bubble with the liquid in it and this meter, this fancy scientific, deal over here that's reading the temperature that's supposed to tell them when it gets too hot inside of the helmets for the players. And we looked at that thing. That's a waste of money. Coach Sherrill ain't ever looking at that. Nobody looks at that thing.
Nobody's gonna pay attention. Yeah,
it's over there bubbling like a percolator on a coffee maker over there. Like, look how hot it is. It's hot. Why do we even have that?
Yeah.
He does not look at it, nor is he ever going to look at it.
He's not going to stop practice.
I had 2 of my former roommates, Paul Mooney, who lives close by here.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
And Rob Morgan, who's coaching with his brother over at Warren Central. We were on a text yesterday, and Paul said, do y'all remember 2-a-days in 1996? And I thought, no, I don't remember that. So I texted back, no, I don't remember that specifically. Rob texts back, I do. And I text back, Paul, you obviously remember it. And they both could remember that specific 2-a-days from 96 as being extraordinarily hot. It, like a lot of things, I don't remember specifically, but it stood out to them.
I blocked out a lot of portions of my life out. I like block it out where I don't remember a lot of different things.
You either blocked it out or blacked it out. One or the other.
That was it.
And I'll tell you, that's the thing about it. There are no 2-a-days anymore. In high school or college, it's outlawed. In the SEC, it is against the rules to have 2 practices a day. It is also against NCAA rules to have back-to-back days in full pads. Can't do it.
Man.
It's like Club Med these days.
I was going to say.
It's easy.
Golly bomb.
Jonathan McMillan with us here at DeViney Equipment.
Sign me up, Coach.
Me too. I'm ready to play now.
Sign me up.
Y'all stick around.
Today's game from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Time was their breakfasts were gloomy. They just didn't feel right, and they didn't know a delicious cereal could help their sad plight. So they tried this and tried that, but irregularity kept coming back all the same. For as often the case, lack of bulk in their diet was actually to blame. Once at the grocer's, the wife was so drooping and sagging that a neighbor said, "Get on Kellogg's All-Bran wagon. Why, All-Bran has a flavor that's scrumptious to eat. So rich and nut-like, makes breakfast a treat. And of course, Kellogg's All-Bran can help you each day to youthful regularity, the dietary way." "Well, it might do some good," said the wife with a sigh. "Guess I'll get some All-Bran and give it a try." Soon, breakfasts at her house were happy and bright, for delicious Kellogg's All-Bran set their day off right. Yes, All-Bran supplies all the bulk in your diet, you see, that you may need for youthful regularity. And no half-brand cereal possibly can provide this help as surely as Kellogg's All-Bran. A delicious, non-habit-forming aid to your diet. You're sure to like All-Bran. Just buy it and try it.
Get on the Kellogg's All-Bran wagon with the best bran in the land. The cereal that tastes bran, the cereal that's All-Bran, a breakfast treat that can't be beat. Be a regular guy and climb aboard the All-Bran wagon. Eat Kellogg's All-Bran.
What is the secret of this enchanted book?
What wonders are hidden within its pages? What magical spell does it cast on all who read it? What is the secret of the never-ending story?
But that's impossible!
You will enter a world where a young boy's imagination becomes a vivid reality. The world of Atreyu and Artax, the Rockbiter, and a good and kind gnome. A world that is vast and eternal, treacherous and dazzling, unforgettable and free. For anyone who's ever made a wish, believed in a fantasy, or had a dream, this is the never-ending story.
It's a new thing. It's a fun thing. It's a swing wing.
It's a what?
It's a swing wing. It's a wing wing. A brand new transit grand fun thing.
It's a what?
It's a swing wing. A fun thing. And now it's your favorite store thing.
It's a what?
Mazda announces some great news for truck buyers. Right now, you can beat the already outstanding value of the $67.95 Mazda SE5. Introducing Mazda SE5 Plus 5. $625 worth of extra features at...
All right, back with you, Matt, in the Bureau, Farm Bureau, Insurance Studio, Farm Bureau, home team, staying connected to you today because of C-Spire, the number one network in Mississippi, C-Spire, customer inspired. Now, I said to somebody that I could talk about a lot of things, including high school football, little state politics, and Speaker Pro Tem, Jason White on your radio right now. You're hanging out with me and Jonathan and all of us here at DeViney Equipment in Madison. Jason, how are you, man?
We're good, man. Good to be with you. Hey, you said topics. I got a call this morning from some folks wanting to know about what the state was going to do in the NIL space, if we're going to change any of our laws.
Well, you know what? Other states have.
They have. That's right.
You've got, well, I can't name them all, but just for example, New York, Missouri.
Sure.
Okay, and I can stop right there because now we've got one that's in the SEC footprint that has passed a state law that says, hey, no NCAA people coming in here punishing us for anything.
That's right.
Which actually gives them a huge advantage if it's going to continue to be the way it is.
If it's going to continue to be the Wild Wild West, you're going to see other states, like a couple of years ago, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Southern, and even the SWAC schools, they were all on the same page of, look, we want to be uniform and here's what we want for now.
Yeah.
And so, those guys aren't going to be able to stay in that gear if all the other states are going to start.
Sure.
I feel like sometimes we're already behind the 8 ball anyway. I certainly don't want to, Texas is going to jump up there and then here we go.
Well, that's it. I mean, and you look at a state with the population of Texas and kind of that following, it could get imbalanced really quickly. Not that it hadn't been to a degree before. And the thing about it is in competitive sports, and you've got a son that plays and have followed it, it. Having money and spending the most money does not always mean that you win.
That's right.
I mean, look at Texas A&M. Oh, we got a long history there. Okay.
Case in point.
But with that said, it really does point to the tremendous need for some sort of national ceiling or structure or framework that everybody goes, okay, here's the rules we all play by. Let's go out and play by these rules. Because right now you just don't have anything.
Look, I think with this free agency, if you want to call it that, we've seen it play out in baseball just this past year with LSU, where you can make huge roster impacts on a 9. It takes a little bit for that money to make its way into an 85 member roster, but that money's going to catch up as folks start buying players, and we may look around and think, there's only 2.9 million people in Mississippi. There's that many people in downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Well,
it's a totally different deal.
It is. And Texas is a much better example than, say, somewhere like New York, because you go up there and start talking about college sports, they want to talk about like St. John's basketball. But I was just there this past week. We had a driver that was taking us from our hotel out to LaGuardia at the airport. As we're going through Queens, I didn't Google it to check him, but he told me there were 3 million people in Queens.
That's probably right.
And I said, okay, so we got less people, just a few less in our whole state.
That's right.
and I like that, because I drove 200 miles here today, this morning, to get here, and I didn't see many cars.
You saw fewer cars than you saw in a block up there, right?
And I saw turkey and I saw deer, you know.
Look, it just demonstrates your versatility as a radio host and as a guy. You know, I listened to you broadcast it from New York last week I think you were on a table somewhere in a lobby.
I had my C-Spire phone sitting there, a little microphone.
Maybe you were in Central Park. I don't know. But to be able to go from that to Madison County on Highway 51 with Jonathan McMillan, you versatile guy.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Maybe, versatile. I like that word. Yeah, I'll take that. If nothing else, I can be versatile. I don't have to be good. I just have to be versatile. Jason White on your radio right now, Speaker Pro Tem here in Mississippi, and you've been in that role for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And
finishing up a fourth. Yeah.
Finishing up a fourth. Yeah. Some things are changing there, right?
Things are changing. As you know, we're in election year, and y'all been talking about Jonathan and his jump into politics today. So everybody's out on the campaign trail, and it's hot. It's kind of winding down, at least from a primary standpoint. There are 122 members of the House of Representatives in Mississippi. 56 of those individuals don't have opponents. Okay. So almost half of my colleagues don't have an opponent. And then we've got probably 25 open seats where the incumbent's not running for reelection. One of those being like the seat that Jonathan's running for. So people are all over the map. But I think we have 36 primaries that will decide the positions next week on August 8th. Jonathan's District 58 being one of those.
Right.
So we'll have 92 of our 122 members elected next week. Week from tomorrow. Yeah.
I was talking with Jonathan, and he and I have been friends for, a while, and pretty much, we'd always talk about football, hunting, fishing stuff, family stuff. I haven't spent a lot of time with Jonathan talking to him personally about, politics and stuff. But I got to thinking about it. I really admire him for having the guts to say, okay, I'm going to get in there. He's got 4 kids, raising a family here, beautiful wife. She's from here. They're in church here. They're in school here. He works here. His business is here. And you look at it and go, well, why wouldn't he get involved?
Look, it is what Mississippians want and expect from their public servants. A guy who's plugged into his community, knows everybody. Everybody that walks in this door right here. Sure,
he really does.
He's running the business, so he should know them. But I'm saying if he goes up here to the service station, he knows folks that are pumping gas and at the grocery store and at school and at church and those kind of things. And so you want people that have run a business. You want people that are raising a family. You want people that are involved in their communities in other ways. And so, he's the model when you look for guys and girls that, and hey, he's doing it for the right reasons. He doesn't need a job. He's, as you can see here today, he's got a full-time job and all that's, they've got going on here.
Yeah.
But I say that's the people you want running and that you want in office. So we're excited about him. We've been glad to support and help him in his campaign, and his folks are his mom and dad are actually constituents of mine in Attala County. And so,
now, were you a Whippet?
I grew up a Whippet, and I eventually graduated from MRA when Holmes Community College expanded to Madison County and built the campus that they have here in Ridgeland. My dad came to run that office, and so I graduated from MRA and played for Jack Carlisle at MRA, and of course my son's playing quarterback there now, so it's been fun to reconnect. When I got elected pro tem and was required to be down here 2 or 3 or 4 days a week more, because before I was elected pro tem, I could just plug in and out with the legislative session. I was here January, February, March, and then kind of back home and working otherwise in Kosciuszko. But with that, we were down here so much, and it just made for a transition for us to have this opportunity. So it's been great for him to be there.
Now tell me your son's name.
John White.
John White, and playing quarterback.
He plays quarterback.
And he's I tell you, he's playing for a heck of a coach. I know that much.
He is.
He's Coach Herbert Davis.
And if you're a quarterback, you want to play for Herbert Davis because he likes to throw it.
Put it in the air.
when you and I played, pass plays were more like trick plays. For Herbert, it's 2nd and 2. We're vertical somewhere. It's.
I played for 4 different head coaches in 4 years of high school, and 3 of the 4, a pass play was. He called a pass play. Let's go. We line up. We can't wait to throw the ball, every now and then. Now, I played for one where we put it in the air a bunch, but that was rare back late 90s. But you're right. It was inside lead right, inside lead left, occasional toss sweep, every now and then a trap. And then every now and then we pull that trap out and we throw it to the tight end about 5 yards. Little dump.
And if you got crazy, maybe there was a bootleg somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. If your quarterback could run.
Yeah.
Or if you had a coach, a lot of people back then would take their fastest guy and put him at quarterback.
That's right.
And run.
Because he wasn't throwing it anyway.
He ain't going to throw it anyway.
And I played for Jack Carlisle at MRA, and we didn't throw it hardly at all.
Yeah.
Boy,
but it's been fun.
It's been fun. Yeah, we were coming home from a game, probably John's sophomore year, and he's like, he had a really good game, bunch of touchdowns. He's like, Dad, what was your best night? I can't remember. He probably had more in that night than I had my whole senior year.
Yeah, the Google and the YouTube stuff, it's a blessing and a curse for people like me and you maybe where, you can look up some of the good things that happen, but you can also Google all the stats, right? And I mean, it's not a pretty picture for some of us.
We've enjoyed it. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch them. And
they're playing Jamboree like
this week, Friday night. Yeah. Kick off the season next week. It's here and it's going to be hot.
It is going. So for MRA in 2 weeks, you got the first ball game.
That's right. We play at Park Lane in Macomb. So if it's not hot enough here, we'll be going south.
Where it's a little warmer.
Yeah. 80 miles.
Even if it's a half a degree or whatever. That's great.
That's
good luck to him and good luck to y'all this year. I know you're looking forward to that.
We're excited.
Just real quick, 30 seconds. What's the emotions like sitting in the stands when your son's playing quarterback?
It's tough. Look, I have looks like World War II headphones that are the old radio headphones, and I just listen to the live broadcast, really just to drown out all the other. I'm terrible company at a football game.
Are you?
It's fun though. It's you live and die with every play, and you kind of feel like you know what's coming, different plays and things. You're like, oh, here it is, and you're like, oh, I missed him or this or that. So it's fun. It's been fun though.
Well, and as an MRA fan, it's
seeing them work hard. They really work hard. Coach Davis, man, they run it like a college program and they work hard. And so, with all that work they put in, it's fun to go and see the product on Friday night.
Well, and you're so fortunate to have Ross doing the broadcast. They do such a good job with it. As an MRA fan, so you can stay connected and listen into those guys do that. So, good stuff, Jason White. Really do appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you so much.
Good to be here. Thank you, Jonathan McMillan, August 8th.
There you go. Jason White on your radio. Appreciate him stopping by. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Y'all stick around.
Have you ever wished for one product that would clean and shine almost everything in your house? Here it is, Clean and Shine. Like magic, Clean and Shine leaves a nice shine on fine wood furniture, so you don't need furniture polish. It cleans and shines mirrors, so you don't need glass cleaner for mirrors. It cleans and shines refrigerators, like this kitchen product. Even countertops, tile, and vinyl. Try new Clean and Shine, the foam that cleans and shines almost everything in your house.
Someday when people look at me, they'll say, there goes Roy Hobbs, the best there ever was.
TriStar Pictures presents Robert Redford in The Natural, the story of a father and a son.
You got a gift, Roy, but it's not enough.
Of love.
He means the world to me.
And desire.
I'm not waiting for true love to come along, Roy.
A champion.
Roy Hobbs comes along once, maybe twice in everybody's lifetime.
And his destiny.
With or without the records, they'll remember you.
Best there is now, and best there ever will be.
I wouldn't bet against me.
I already have.
Robert Redford, Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Kim Basinger, Wilford Brimley, Barbara Hershey, Robert Prosky, and Richard Farnsworth as Red. The Natural.
You know me.
Would you believe I'm Bugs Bunny? I'm also the voice of many other cartoon characters. But in here, they don't care if I'm Elmer Fudd. So I carry an American Express card, the one card I need for travel and entertaining, for business and pleasure. Why, without this, the only way I'd get any attention is by saying, that's all, folks.
To apply for a card, call 800-528-8000.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The following is a presentation of TBS Sports. Exclusively on Superstation TBS. Superstation TBS presents the Atlanta Braves, America's team. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. This Bud's for you. By the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, Delta. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Eckerd Drugs, America's family drugstore.
If a man you've never met before suddenly gives you flowers, that's elation. The exciting new fragrance from Impulse.
Thursday, it's Cosby starting off a night of family fun. And leave it to Family Ties to keep the laughs coming.
Oh, no. What are we going to do? Everything's under control.
Then on Cheers, will Norm think on a friend to get a promotion?
Yes.
And the fun continues with Night Court.
I'm here to strip for Dan Fielding.
Thursday.
Oh, what a meal, oh,
Hamburger helper lasagna.
for your family.
Authentic Italian taste.
Hearty robusto, but not too spicy, eh?
Hamburger helper lasagna turns your plain hamburger into a delicious Italian meal with authentic Italian taste. Curly Italian noodles, rich tomato sauce, and a better blend of spices.
Hamburger helper. Lasagna.
Helper, hamburger helper.
Make a great meal, oh.
And even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Do you crave your sports?
It's often difficult to satisfy that special hunger.
Not here, because you've got Man Wyatt.
Oh, I am starving.
Don't worry, he's got a menu full on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone 105.9.com.
All right, back with you. Got a few minutes left with you here today on this Monday edition of the show, live at DeViney Equipment in Madison. There are two locations for DeViney Equipment here in the area. You got here on Highway 51, Madison, Gluckstadt. You got another on Spring Ridge Road, Jackson, over as you're leaving Jackson, like headed towards Clinton over in that area. Two different locations. Deals going on. Jonathan McMillan is here from DeViney on Highway 51, Madison. And Jonathan, it's been a good day. He was talking about how everybody that comes in here, you know them. How long have you been here at DeViney?
Let's see. Well, since 2005. This store opened up in 05, so I've been here since 2005.
So not quite, but pushing 20 years. Mm-hmm. Getting on 20 years. I started to make the comment to Jason. It really is, when I stop and think about it, it's amazing how many people I've come down here and met myself because you brought them in here and introduced them to Jason and the wildlife guys and Lynn Posey. I'd never met Lynn. See, I knew his name and read his quotes and stuff in articles before, but I'd never met him. I think the only two people that are here today that I hadn't met because of you were Larry Pugh, the fisheries biologist who lives in
Larry.
Tupelo. I knew Larry. And Jeff Chow, my buddy, who's a photographer.
Jeff's the man.
Jeff is the man.
Good.
Jeff is he is a wedding photographer extraordinaire. He is a professional videographer. He also is a soccer coach. Did he tell you that?
We didn't discuss that.
Yeah, but Jeff, his first year as a citizen and resident in the United States of America was 1998 when he came to be a student at Mississippi State University. and our football
Thank you,
team won the Western Division championship, and it's been all downhill from there. He thought that was the norm. He got here.
It's like we're good.
Immediately we go to the SEC championship game and hadn't been back since. So and then get this, and how his life turned out. He comes to state the very first year he's there. We win the West. Now he lives across the street in Clinton from Wayne Madkin.
Okay.
Quarterback of that 98 team. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jeff's here today hanging out. So it's only he and Larry would be the only two guys that are here that I hadn't met because of you. So, Jonathan, what do I need to know about Red Max handheld products?
Man, if you're looking for a trimmer, not a weed eater. You can't call it a weed eater.
It's a trimmer.
Yeah, we've got our blower, our hedge trimmer. We've got 15% off. I hope they extend that. That's supposedly through today, which today is the last day of the month, the 31st. Hopefully they extend that. Okay. So that's pretty good. That's a good savings.
But to be sure, if you're listening, you need a trimmer, you need a new one, you can get a discount. Be sure to come in today, just to be certain.
Yeah, it's through the 31st, but hopefully they'll extend that. I haven't exactly talked to that rep about that, but I think they will. They should. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Got that. Mentioned this earlier. I want to bring it up again, though, the rental opportunity here. Tractor packages, mowers. I'd love to sell you one here at DeViney, but if that's not the market you're in, but you need one for a specific project, you can rent stuff here at DeViney.
DeViney rents, absolutely. We got, like I said, coming up hunting season, we have a lot of people that, they may not have a tractor or a bush hog to go up to their property to cut. And a ton of people, they rent year after year after year because they only use it one time a year. That's all I do. So they'll come in and pick it up on a Friday, use it the weekend, bring it back on Monday. We got you the tractor, the cutter, disc, spreader, and a trailer. So you can come up here and pick up everything, go to your hunting property, do all your planning for the weekend, bring it back. So, yeah.
That's great. Good stuff. And let's go over the deer camp tractor package. And so this is a deal that they can get, here at DeViney for an extended period of time because we're just about to dip over into August.
That's right.
But the whole package, the tractor and the whole deal, what do you have?
Yep. So, deer camp package special 2501 DT. That's our 25 horse tractor. Now we can package up larger tractors if you want. But it's the tractor, the loader, the cutter, the disc, the spreader, and the trailer. So we're $27,800 on a cash price, payment around $360 a month. So it aggravates Jimmy. Look at Jimmy right here. Look at him. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? Everybody looking at you, say, "Hey!"
He's waving at the live audience. Jimmy.
No, but
see, I told you. Everybody I meet in here, you introduced me. I had never seen Jimmy.
Jimmy's
before.
a man. You can tell he's just a man. Look at, he's the man. So no, but we came up with that, and I'm not gonna throw shade at anybody, but a lot of people, they'll fall into package deals and they'll come here and you get a free cutter, or get a free trailer, or free this and free that, and there's really nothing that's free, So we just like to do a fair deal. I mean, this is everything that's included. It's $27,800. Which is a great deal for everything that you're getting there.
Yeah.
If you don't need the cutter or the disc or the spreader, we can mix and match. We can take stuff off, add stuff to. If you like I said, if I don't need a cutter disc, I need a tiller. We can take those two pieces off, put a tiller in there. Okay. You'll still get the best price on a package.
Okay. So. Okay. Good deal. So that's another advantage for people coming here, especially this time of year. If you're a deer hunter, you've been eyeballing it. It's getting closer and closer.
It's here. We said it's here.
It's here.
It is officially here.
It is officially here.
We will say it's here. So
well, and it is. I mean, tomorrow's August the 1st, and you and I are getting old enough to realize that what happens is it's August 1st, and you do this, then you go, and it's August 31st.
That's it.
That's how fast it happens.
You going dove hunting with me this year?
I would love to. I really would. You buying shells? I mean,
what? I mean, you're like a dead eye. You may not. I mean, what is it? What's the limit?
No,
15. So you just need 15 shells, right?
No, I need more than 15 shells. Let's say 25.
25. Okay. You think you can get it done with 25?
There's no question in my mind.
Really?
As a matter of fact, we ought to do a 25.
Do we put money on that?
Well,
I don't know. I mean, is that legal?
Here's what I'm willing to do.
25 shells, and you think you'll limit out?
Yes.
Amazing.
I'll do a 25 shell challenge. I'll do a 25 shell challenge. We'll take these cameras.
I mean, this is recording, right? So this can't this is recording.
We'll take the video equipment and the video crew. Jeff can join us. We'll do a 25 shell challenge, and the challenge is kill a limit of 15 doves or 25 shells. I would be willing to accept that challenge. Would you be willing to accept that challenge?
I mean, it actually get her done? Probably not. But I mean,
see him cut his eyes over there before you even said anything.
25. Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, we'll see who kills the most.
The most with 25 shells.
With 25 shells.
I could hear
I'll do
Jeff.
that.
I heard Jeff over here laughing.
Yeah, he was smiling. He already knew. We'll take 25 shells and let's see who kills the most birds
with 25 shells.
With 25 shells. I'll do that.
All right.
You think you can get a limit?
Yeah,
really?
I do. I honestly do.
Never seen you shoot.
Well, then why do you doubt it? That's the real question.
I mean,
if you've never seen me shoot, then why would you doubt that I could do that?
Okay.
You're saying that it would take a real pro.
I'm not saying you're not a real pro. I've just never heard you we've never had bird hunting discussions before, I don't think.
Well,
did you grow up hunting doves?
Yes, I did. And here's the thing: I don't shoot until they're just about to land on the ground right in front. I'm kidding.
In the wheat pile that you left the field up with.
Yeah, right. Put the wheat pile.
Yeah.
If the wind's really blowing hard,
you probably hunt over corn chops.
No.
Where's Lynn Posey?
No comment.
Lynn.
No. If the wind's blowing really hard, then we might need to adjust our.
Well, we did have this discussion yesterday because usually, not saying we want hurricanes, but usually we get a tropical storm or depression that comes up around that Labor Day weekend. So
we do, and
usually those merge are.
They are getting it.
They're getting it.
They'll get it one way, and sometimes I may be crazy, but sometimes it seems like, where you're shooting them over, like what kind of. I mean, are we on this humongous open area, like on the edge of the Delta, where there's nothing to stop the wind? Well, they get going one way and it's, they're going 90 miles an hour. And other places, like if I'm on a smaller place and it's trees on three sides, you don't see them coming, but they're not coming through there at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, see where we are, they just kind of dive on you. You never know.
You just never know.
That's why, 25 shells and 15 birds. I don't know.
I believe I could do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm just saying I would like to try.
All right, I'm in. I'll take it.
If you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you? That's great. Well, how much? I'm pulling a Chris Brooks here. Hey, how much time we got left?
Whatever.
I laughed at Chris one time because I was listening and he and Beaver were on the air and they had about 5 minutes left and they kind of got to the end of one topic and Chris looked at Beaver and said, Beaver, how much time we got left?
Not right.
Yeah. Now, listen, seriously, it's been good to be here with you today. I am going to get some more of that free pizza here at DeViney before I step out of the room. Good luck over the next week, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan McMillan for House District 58.
I appreciate you.
If y'all have seen the signs, that's the man we're talking about. And that's going to be a busy week for you and a lot of folks.
Busy week right now. We just had a couple other candidates come in, talk to them. I've got to know several folks, of course, running in Madison County. And lots of good people that are running, lots of good people that are putting themselves out there. So I commend everybody, in the state that may be listening here for stepping out to run. And I hope that people, by seeing folks maybe that are busy all the time that are stepping out, maybe they can look in and, hey, maybe I can serve, maybe I can do something. Because we just need more folks involved, more folks. There's a lot of important issues that's going on in our state and our country right now. And we just need real folks stepping up. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Jonathan, thank you, man. Appreciate you
having
having
us.
us.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, great
awesome.
to see you
Shoot
as well.
Heck yeah.
That's Jonathan McMillan with DeViney Equipment. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. For Beaver, I'm Matt. All of us here on the show in the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. See you then. See you.